7-foot-tall hovering beings terrorize a remote village. A 500-year-old legend of face-peeling monsters seems to come to life. And in the middle of it all, a secretive U.S. military operation is active just miles away. So let's break down what we know. It's easy to see why the Peruvian government was so quick to dismiss the story. In the Nanay River is gold. Lots of gold. During the pandemic, the authorities disappeared. Gold prices soared, and the jungle opened up. Criminal networks from Brazil and Colombia moved in. They set up illegal gold mining operations that generate billions of dollars a year. But these operations use dredges and pumps and shovels, not hoverboards and lasers. If this were about gold, why attack Nauta, a city with no gold at all? So were these aliens? Probably not. Why would aliens speak Spanish with an American accent? There's strong evidence Americans were involved. The training ended on July 9th. The attacks began on July 11th. The timeline is fact. Talia, hearing two accents, one local, one American, points directly toward a joint operation, which it was. The CIA has done plenty of evil things, but pretending to be face peelers sounds like a stretch. It isn't. The CIA once faked vampire attacks as part of a counterinsurgency strategy. In the 1950s in the Philippines, a communist group called the Huks tried to overthrow the government. The CIA brought in a psychological warfare unit to try to scare the Huks away. There was a local legend of a monster called the Aswang. The Aswang had a sharp tongue that it would use to drain the blood of its victims. So the CIA started hunting the Huks. They kidnapped them, punctured their necks, and hung the corpses upside down to drain their blood. The plan worked better than they expected. The same PSYOPs unit was deployed in Vietnam a few years later for Operation Wandering Soul. They broadcast ghostly voices and screams into the jungle at night. This was so effective that the US was instructed not to play the sounds around their local allies. They were terrified. But why would the CIA go through all this trouble and take on so much risk for money? They have access to all the money they need. And what about Tim Alberino's theory about a shadowy organization harvesting organs using alien technology? That's probably the best theory we have, but there's no proof to support it. But Tim went to the jungle. He spoke to the witnesses. He did prove their fear is real. The official story is a lie. We know that. Whether the attackers were miners, soldiers, traffickers, or something else, they were organized and technologically superior. I don't think this is aliens. I'm pretty sure this is being done by men. Evil men. And if this is happening in Peru, it's happening to defenseless people in remote villages all over the continent. Maybe even beyond. Advanced technology in the hands of those who profit from suffering. We've seen that all throughout history. The face peelers aren't a legend anymore. They're an industry. And business is booming.
Play now!
Welcome to 1930.
Families like ours must keep moving to survive.
If Mama were alive, what would she do?
Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. My name is AJ, and this has been a Y-File Stripped episode. If you had fun or learned anything, do us a favor, hit the like, subscribe, comment, and share buttons. That's
Just
as it gets. How do you contend with someone like that? Overpowered. Pretty hard do that.